Hey friends, it's Dr. Cindy. We are officially rolling into Thanksgiving week. And listen, this is the time of year when inflammation creeps up on people fast. Between the stress, the travel, the alcohol, the sugar, the casseroles, and all the things, the family drama, your body feels every bit of it. But you do not have to choose between enjoying the holidays and protecting your health. So, today I'm going to walk you through the importance of an anti inflammatory diet, what inflammation actually does to your body, how to navigate Thanksgiving without triggering a flare, and what simple shifts make the biggest impact. And yes, you can still enjoy your favorite foods. I'm not here to take away your stuffing, I promise. People always ask me, hey, is it okay to have this piece of pie? Is it okay to have this? Yes, but just be mindful. Moderation is key. And remember, like I'm 48 years old, and that's what I always tell somebody. I'm like, you know what that piece of pie tastes like. You've had it for 48 years. Is it worth the consequences? So that's what you have to ask yourself. Is it going to flare me? Is it going to cause inflammation? Is it something that I'm going to be able to keep at bay? So ask yourself those questions. Walk yourself through the scenario. Is it worth it? So let's talk about what inflammation really is. Let's clear up a huge misconception about inflammation. Also, I am live on TikTok and also on Facebook. So if you have any questions regarding this topic today, I am happy to answer them. Just put them in the chat box and I will try and get to them as fast as possible. Okay, inflammation is not the enemy. Chronic inflammation is. That's what I fight, right? That's what I'm always talking about. Inflammation. I got rheumatoid arthritis when I was 19. So I'm always doing everything anti inflammatory. So, all the tips that I give you, I live it every single day. I make sure that I am literally keeping all the inflammatory foods out of my diet, trying to keep my central nervous system calm. I meditate. I do all the things to keep the flare down in my body. Your body uses inflammation as a healing response, it's protective. Remember, we want a little bit of inflammation, that acute inflammation, because our bodies are doing exactly what they need to be doing. It becomes protective. We just don't want the chronic inflammation. So when the inflammation switch gets stuck on, like with rheumatoid arthritis or even like gut health, that's when we see the weight gain, fatigue, joint swelling, bloating, heart disease, autoimmunity issues, just like living with rheumatoid arthritis, cancer progression, because remember, inflammation feeds cancer cells, and accelerated aging, which we do not want, right? It's okay to age. Maybe we just don't want to look like it. We don't want to, and also on the inside, that cellular aging, we don't want to accelerate it. Holiday eating usually pushes people right into chronic inflammation because of three things: sugar, processed fats, and stress. And we all know, I can remember when I owned, actually, I'm wearing the jacket today, Bodies by Cindy. When I had that in Mobile, people, they dreaded this time of year because they knew that they would just be giving in. And pretty much from Halloween all the way until the new year, they were just off the rails. All their health goals were down the drain, and then they were just like, oh, okay, I'll get back in January. Well, by the time January came around, they were really sick, like really actually sick, sick with inflammation. But guys, you don't have to wait until January. I mean, you could start moderating now and being mindful of what you're doing, making small changes. And then if you have a holiday party and you want to splurge, that's fine, but just get right back on the next meal. Um, you know, I don't personally cheat on my food. I don't look at food as a reward. It's my medicine, and I know that sounds crazy to some, but I've been sick enough that I know that I never want that type of inflammation again in my body. So I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that my body stays clear of it. But back in the day when I would have a cheat meal, I would always try and be mindful the next meal, get right back on track. Don't skip meals trying to make up for it. Literally just up your protein and get right back. And we'll talk about that a little bit more through this segment. So you may think it's just one day, but it's never one day. It's a week of leftovers. It's 2 months of holiday creep, and your body never gets a break. So we start now, okay? Why the holidays are a perfect storm. All right, so let's talk about this. Thanksgiving is basically a metabolic stress test. You've got higher cortisol levels from travel, hosting, family dynamics. I always say that, family dynamics. I'm taking a break from family this year. Higher sodium, higher sugar. Again, because if you're eating out and you're eating at someone's house, you don't know what they put in the food. So even if it seems healthy, there could be some hidden sugars in there that you're not aware of, higher sodium levels. Also, alcohol is a big component, bigger portions that we should not be getting. I measure everything out. I am that boring. And it is just consistent patterns every single day. But you cannot manage, I always say this, you cannot manage what you're not measuring, right? So I literally track all my food on Lose It, the app, LOSEIT, and I weigh everything. Even if I'm pretty sure I can eyeball it, and I'm pretty sure I could probably get pretty close. But every time that I take my eye off the prize and I'm not measuring my food, that's when my weight seems to creep up, and it causes an imbalance. Is because, again, it's not exactly what it should be. So just measure. It's not that big of a deal. Get a digital scale. You can get one less than $10. Also, you're getting less sleep during the holidays. You're getting less movement. All of this triggers inflammation. So we just want to be mindful of exactly what we're doing. Again, if you're missing just one component of those that I just mentioned, that's fine. But most of us get in the habit during the holidays that we're getting 4 or 5 of those, and they compile, and then it causes a perfect storm for inflammation. And this is why people wake up bloated, puffy, tired. You're going to notice more bags under your eyes, and you're just mentally drained. It's not just holiday weight, it's inflammation weight. When you calm inflammation, weight drops fast. That's why my patients lose 3 to 5 pounds of inflammation in 48 hours after tightening things up. Literally, I can put them on a regimen, and I get text messages all the time. Hey, I've lost 5 pounds. Hey, I've lost 10 pounds. And that's like within the first week and a half of us working together, because we just did a few tweaks and they're good to go. And I never say let your foot off the gas. It's always a work in progress. For me, for you, it's always a work in progress. We all should live like we have stage 4 cancer in that prevention mode, and always working towards it. Always working on that goal. Always working on ourselves. Don't let your foot off the gas. I think I might have said break. Don't let your foot off the gas. So let me break this down simple. An anti-inflammatory diet, and if you're a patient of mine, you hear me talk about this a lot, and you're more than likely on one, because that's what I put a lot of my patients on. It's built around foods that communicate safety to your body. If your body feels safe, it heals. If your body feels stressed, it's going to inflame. So here are some foods that lower inflammation. Greens of any kind, cruciferous vegetables, pumpkin. I am so in love with pumpkin right now. I was a little sad. I get most of my carbs from squash and pumpkin vegetables. That's where my carb source comes from. But I really have fallen in love with pumpkin. It's more fibrous, less calories, but it has so many health benefits. And so I was thinking, oh man, it's seasonal, right? I'm not going to be able to get it after the holidays. And I did some research to see if the pumpkin puree was as health friendly, and it's actually more so. And so I started adding, it depends on, if it's after a workout or not, but adding in between 2 and 4 ounces, maybe 5 ounces of pumpkin puree with my meals. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, if you have any bowel issues whatsoever, and you fight constipation, you want to add some pumpkin puree to your meals. And I add a little stevia to it, a little cinnamon. It's like a dessert, but it will keep your colon nice and cleaned out, okay? I know that may be a little bit TMI, but it works. And if you're a patient of mine, we talk about this stuff we talk about poop all the time. So if you're not pooping, you're not healthy. So you want to make sure you're pooping. So add in the pumpkin, especially during this time of year. Zucchini, butternut squash, all of those are great to lower inflammation. Berries and citrus. People ask me all the time about fruits. I'm not a big fruit person, like overall. Um, hey guys, Angela asked, do you get a whole pumpkin and prepare it? So what I've been doing, Angela, they have the smaller ones that are like in the squash section, not the big ones. Those are a little intimidating for me to like cut open. But they have the smaller ones, and that's what I've been doing. And I've been roasting it at 400 degrees for about 55 minutes. So I cut it, scoop it out, put a little cinnamon, sea salt, and maybe black pepper. Put it in the oven and just let it roast for about 55 minutes to an hour, and it is delicious. And you can do that with all your squashes as well. Hey, Ann. Okay, so let me get back to the fruit. So not a huge fruit person, just because a lot of times the fruit are empty calories and they can raise glycemic indexes, which we do not want, because then that causes insulin resistance. So if you're a patient of mine, you hear me say berries are okay. So raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, all good options. Citrus can be a little hit and miss, really high in sugar, depending on what time of day you eat it as well. And I would keep fruits to the morning. That way you have all day to burn it off. Angel says, I'm so sensitive to carbs. When I eat bad, it hurts. The pumpkin won't do that. Correct? No. And it's amazing because I started having pumpkin with my eggs in the morning at like 4 in the morning before I get to the gym, because I train at 4:45, and I don't bloat. Like, my stomach's nice and flat, and it's also glycogen for my muscles, so I have such good energy, and it lasts for like a few hours actually. So and I'm very sensitive to carbs as well, so yeah, you're gonna be absolutely fine. Add it in. Something else that you can add in as well to lower inflammation, unless you have histamine issues, is avocados. Olive oils. I pretty much add a half a teaspoon of olive oil to every one of my meals. Source your olive oils well. I actually am working with, I'll have to put it in the show notes. I don't want to get their name wrong, but I'm working with a company, and they have all of theirs that come from Australia, and they're amazing. They taste so good, and you know that you're putting the good oil in your body. So I will make sure that I put that in the show notes for you guys. Nuts and seeds, unless you have any type of lectin or oxalate issue, which some of you may have, but nuts and seeds are a great source. Anything from chia seeds, flax seeds. I would stay away from almonds, but you could do Brazil nuts, cashews, pistachios. All those are fine. Also, lentils, beans, if you tolerate them, fine. Wild caught fish, salmon's great. And then different herbs like turmeric, ginger, rosemary, cinnamon, especially Ceylon cinnamon. Green tea is another one. So if you're feeling hungry and you don't want to be snacking between meals, which we don't really want to be snacking, drink a cup of green tea. It's going to really satisfy your hunger, and not just that, but it has so many anti-cancer benefits. Yeah, Anne says that she cannot eat avocados because they make her sick, and they cause me inflammation as well. So yeah, there's so many other options on that list that I just gave. You can omit the avocados, not an issue. I do avocado oil fine, but avocados are an issue for me as well. Okay, so let's go over foods that trigger inflammation, and you're gonna see a lot of these in your Thanksgiving meals. Processed oils, which could be canola, soybean, corn, and be mindful too, because I feel sometimes at a restaurant, even when I say, can I get some olive oil on the side, I'm not too sure it's olive oil, so just be careful. Also, and I even carry my own. This sounds crazy. I carry stevia and I carry little Himalayan salt packs in my fanny pack that everybody makes fun of. I love my fanny pack, but it literally has. I'm trying to moderate over here on TikTok as I'm talking to you guys, but I like to be prepared, and I don't want to settle when I go into a restaurant, right? So you can actually get the little packs, like a like a Sweet and Low packet or a Splenda packet. You can get the packets of stevia, and you can also get the packets of Himalayan salt. So yeah, that way you know what's actually going on in your food. So when I order food and we're out, I say no seasoning, no oils whatsoever. And they may look at you a little crazy, but they will do it, and it comes out. I haven't had an issue since I've been asking for it. And then I add in my own seasonings at the table. Also, foods that trigger inflammation is going to be sugar, excess dairy, gluten for many people, including myself, alcohol, fried foods, processed snacks. I was in the trainer's room the other day at the gym, and there was a bag. It was somebody's birthday, and there was a bag sitting there on the counter, and it had drizzleicious snacks. Has anybody ever heard of that? So it was a rice cake gone bad, I guess, with processed sweeteners and everything else. I'm like, Jesus, can we continue to make bad food, right? I mean, it's like the one healthy snack, rice cakes, which I always used to have, just made it more complicated. Angela asks, can you do a live on different types of sweeteners? Sometimes it's so confusing and I have no idea what is safe. Absolutely, that's a great topic, and I will make sure that I write that down. Because, yes, there is a lot of different sweeteners out there now, which is great that we have options, but sometimes there's too much noise out there and we don't know what's healthy and what's not. All right, it's down, Angela. I got it. Thanks for the suggestion. Okay, so remember, on this list, one of them, two of them, probably not a big deal, but you compile all of them together, which a lot of these are in your holiday meals, it is going to lead to disaster. But if you're intentional, you don't have to be perfect. Just be mindful of exactly what's going in. All right, so how are we going to approach Thanksgiving Day? Here's how to survive Thanksgiving without sabotaging your health goals. So this is what I was talking about earlier. We're going to front load on protein. Protein stabilizes your blood sugar, which keeps inflammation down. So, for instance, again, you don't really know how much protein is in something unless you're managing it, right? So if you're using an app like Lose It or MyFitnessPal, or even like the Fitbit has an app, there's so many apps out there of how to keep control of your macros. You don't know unless you're managing it. So you got to put it in, and it will let you know how many protein grams are in that. But pretty much every one of my meals are between 30 and 45 grams of protein at a meal. And the higher the protein, I notice that I'm less hungry because it stabilizes blood sugar, and that keeps the inflammation down. Because if you're constantly spiking blood sugars, that's causing inflammation in the body. That's what feeds cancer cells. That's what's going to lead you to bloat, cause weight gain, all the things. So start the morning with protein and greens, not cinnamon rolls, and not a pumpkin spice latte. And as my friend Dee always says, Shout out D. Thomas. Hydrate before you caffeinate. And literally, that little line is in my head every single morning. And the first thing I want to do is grab my coffee, but I make sure that I drink about 16 ounces of water with my electrolytes first thing when I wake up. And I haven't had any issues since I started doing that. So I love that line. Remember, hydrate before you caffeinate. Okay, hydrate early. Half your body weight in ounces before you walk into a Thanksgiving house. This alone reduces overeating. I can tell because I eat like I'm eating 7 meals a day right now, and it's a lot of food. But I can tell when I drink 16 to 20 ounces of water in between a meal, I barely can get that next meal in because I'm so full from all that water. So remember, drink your weight in water. It's a great way not to overeat. All right, build your plate with strategy. So I always tell my patients, veggies, protein, and carbs last. So I would say your schedule needs to be protein, good healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, nuts, veggies. Your carbs come from your veggies, and I would just omit my carbs because even if it's something that you think is healthy, like I don't know, sweet potato casserole because it has sweet potato in it is healthy. No, there's like brown sugar and syrup and gosh, there's butter, everything else. So I would just omit the carbs and get your carbs from vegetables. Pretty much a salad and veggies, that's all it is carbs. And you're going to get them in. You might not get in as much carbs as what you technically need to meet your intake for the day, but at least they're clean and you can make up for them, right? I mean, you can make that up. I would keep it simple. Protein, good fat, veggies. My meat, my oil, vegetables, salad, vegetables. And I promise you'll be full. You won't feel like you're missing out on anything. Omit the carbs. Okay, so if you just have to have a carb that's on the table, favorite rule that I teach, if it's worth it, eat it. Don't waste carbs on things that you don't love. So make sure that it is worth it, okay? You're in love with that carb. Don't stack sugar, alcohol, and bread. Most inflammation comes from the combination and not just one thing. Angela says she had an early Thanksgiving with family this weekend. I ate a sweet potato cooked with pumpkin pie spice and made whipped cream out of heavy cream and vanilla. It was so good and it gave me all the pumpkin pie vibes. That's a really good idea. So she had a sweet potato cooked and then she put pumpkin pie spice, made whipped cream out of heavy cream and vanilla. It was so good. So you could do the same thing with like Greek yogurt and even cut that dairy in half. You could do Greek yogurt or cottage cheese. Add in some vanilla extract, even a little bit of stevia. It would be so good. So I would try that too. Walking after each meal, even if it's just 10 minutes, it lowers your glucose and it lowers inflammation dramatically. It helps with digestion. Have a recovery plan for the next day because the leftovers are where people crash. They're there, they're easy, they might be at someone else's house, and that's the go-to. So have a plan. So here's your next day recovery stack. Not snack. I didn't say snack. I said stack. Morning. Big glass of water, greens and lemon, high protein breakfast. Again, you could do something like I do for my breakfast. I do 2 whole eggs, 2 additional egg whites, and then I do about 4 ounces of pumpkin puree, mix it together. I'm telling you guys, it is amazing. It tastes like a dessert. I know it sounds disgusting, but it's really good. No sugar. We had some family member, and Holly, I'm not going to mention any names, Holly Blackshear, stayed at our house while we were traveling in Greece. And I think she overindulged the night before, and we found some recovery drinks in the refrigerator in the guest bedroom downstairs. And it has like 30 grams of sugar, and there's 2 servings. And most people drink the entire thing. So you're getting so much sugar in those guys. So don't rely on those recovery drinks as your go-to. Just do not do it. If you need electrolytes, which I do highly recommend in the morning, do some Celtic salt, maybe some lemon. You can add a little bit of apple cider vinegar, some stevia, some magnesium. That's all you need. You don't need those big marketable drinks that are loaded with sugar. Holly, not naming any names. Okay, so midday, this is the day after Thanksgiving. Light walk, hydrate, add more electrolytes. It's okay. You can add in that Celtic salt throughout the day. Dinner, protein, veggies, no alcohol if you can help it. No dessert. Remember, do not combine them. If you decide to have the alcohol, definitely stick to your protein and veggies and no dessert. And some supplements that help. Remember, this is not medical advice. This is only educational. I am not your doctor per se. Okay, so it's not medical advice, but here are some supplements that I recommend. Omega 3s, curcumin, magnesium, berberine, glutathione, and green tea extract. Those are some great ones to add in. Give your body about, and you got plenty of time. Like if you wanted to order these, I'll go through them again. Omega 3s, curcumin, I always get that one, magnesium, berberine, glutathione, green tea extract. You got time to order them, get them in, have them on hand with you, especially if you're traveling. Give your body about 24 to 48 hours of calm, and the inflammation drops, okay? So I do talk about this a lot with my cancer patients, my autoimmune patients, hormone patients. All of it comes back to inflammation. Chronic inflammation, it makes cancer grow, hormone symptoms worsen, weight loss is harder, gut issues are worse, blood sugar is unstable, and your moods are irregular. The holidays, they don't have to be a setback. They can be the moment that you decide to stop letting the season control your health. You don't have to give in to peer pressure. Do you know how many times I've sat at a table at Thanksgiving and everybody's like, oh, it's not going to hurt you. Just have that one bite. It's not going to hurt you. You do good all year long. Blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. It will hurt you. Okay? Let me tell you, it will hurt you. And do not be weak and do not give in to peer pressure. And it's okay to be rude and be like, please mind your own business. Stay in your lane and you eat whatever the hell you want to eat. I'm going to be over here eating what I want to eat. Okay? Be rude about it. So I'll get off my soapbox about that because people drive me crazy with that. It's not going to hurt you. Well, you don't live inside my chronic inflammation body. So yes, it will hurt me. There is nothing stronger than a person who goes into the holidays with intention. So just remember that. Hold your stance. Let's see. Okay. Anne says that she buys organic lemons and squeezes them, puts them into ice trays. It's so good. She loves her lemon water. Those sound really good. That's a good idea, Anne. Thanks for sharing that. Okay. I'm just going to take a few minutes because I am at 30 minutes already, but just a couple of Q&As that came in on this topic when I teased it earlier. Question 1, can I still enjoy dessert on Thanksgiving? Yes. Choose one dessert that feels worth it. And you know what? What I always have done is I will bring that dish. I will bring an appetizer. I'll bring a salad. I'll bring a side dish. I will bring something that I know that I can have, that I know what's going into my body, that doesn't make me feel left out. So if that one thing that you cannot say no to is dessert, bring your own dessert. Know what's in there. Share it with others. And another great thing is find a really cool, healthy dessert, and there are so many. Just go to Instagram. My whole entire feed is nothing but desserts. I've been trying to find one that Jason absolutely loves because he loves sugar so much, and I've been trying to really have him replace that because I don't want him feeding cancer cells. So find one and share it and show people that there is healthy options out there and you can still have your dessert. All right, so don't graze. Don't graze all day. Pair it with protein to keep your glucose stable. So if you do cheat, remember, pair it with a protein. Anything can be paired with a protein and a good fat, and then it helps stabilize those blood sugars. Never have a naked carb. That means a carbohydrate without a protein or a fat, and what it's going to do is just spike that glucose and cause overall body inflammation. Question 2, what's the best way to control bloating the next day? Walk, hydrate, avoid leftovers full of sugar and processed oils, get your protein up, add magnesium to help your digestion reset. I absolutely love pure encapsulations, magnesium citrate. Love it. It's a powder. I throw it in my water. I've done a video on it. I love it. It keeps the bowels nice and cleaned out. It keeps my digestion, my bloat, everything down. So it's by pure encapsulation. Reach out to me if you cannot find it. It's a small little container, and I just add, doesn't have any taste. I add it into my water. Question 3, does alcohol spike inflammation? Yes, 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 especially when it's paired with sugar, which most alcoholic drinks have sugar. If you drink, stick to clean spirits. Hydrate between drinks and stop early. You do not have to overindulge. 1 or 2 drinks if you decide to drink during the holidays, and keep it clean. Vodka, soda water, vodka water, tequila, clear tequila, or your silver tequila. Look, I don't drink anymore, so I don't even know the names of these alcohols. But silver. Stick to your clear liquors. That's your best choice. And if you decide to have wine, always go with a Pinot Noir or a Cab, because they are not going to spike glucose. Stay away from your white wines. They don't really have any health benefits whatsoever, and they are definitely going to spike your glucose levels, and it's just added calories. Okay, what if I'm already struggling with inflammation before the holidays? I want you to start right now. We're exactly 1 week away from Thanksgiving. So even if it's 3 to 5 days of anti-inflammatory eating, it makes a huge difference going into Thanksgiving. And it will be easier to rebound the day after, right? Because if you just start something like the day after Thanksgiving, you haven't been doing it, it's going to be so hard, and there's going to be so many outside influences, and you're going to want to give in and cave, and there's going to be all this noise, and it's just harder. So if you start right now, you got 1 week to start those habits. Do it now. All right, last question. What's the number 1 food to avoid? Seed oils, okay? They inflame you more than sugar. They're in most of your casseroles, dressings, and fried foods. So remember, if you know that there's going to be one food there that you absolutely cannot resist, bring your own. That way you know what's in it. Don't put the seed oils in. Replace it with an avocado oil or an olive oil. Dressings, the same thing. And omit the fried foods. We do not need fried foods. Okay? We just don't. Our bodies don't process them, especially with the gluten. All right. I'm going to, let's see. Questions. Where do you get it at, your magnesium powder? I just did a post on about Fullscript. It's on my Facebook feed. They're having a huge sale coming up next Thursday, actually, on the 27th. And you can go in there and get signed up. But it's through Fullscript, and it gives you 25% off. So it's at wholesale cost. And it gets shipped right to your front door. It's that easy. So just go to my Facebook feed, Fullscript. I put the link in there. You can get signed up. Super easy. All right, guys. So just remember this. You're not powerless in the holidays. You just need a plan. Inflammation doesn't control you. You control your environment, your food, and your habits. And remember, don't let the outside noise make you cave in. It's not worth it. I hope this helped you walk into Thanksgiving with a little bit more confidence. And if you need support, message me. I'm here for you. I love you all, always, for tuning in. I probably will do a live again on Wednesday, maybe. Either Wednesday or Friday. I'll skip over Thanksgiving, but I'll do a little teaser and let you guys know what we're going to talk about. And Angela, we'll do it about sweeteners, especially since it's the holidays and everybody's going to be adding in some type of sweetener for desserts and everything. So you can reach out to me, Cindy at drcindyross.com. Visit my website, lifewellnessforever.com, or give me a call, 251-635-7477. All right. Have a great afternoon, and I will see you guys online.